Ladies, let me share something with you. When a man does you wrong, the most powerful move you can make is to confuse him, not with mixed signals or mind games, but by acting in a way he never anticipated. Men often expect women to react emotionally when hurt. They brace themselves for tears, raised voices, lengthy texts, or dramatic social media posts. That's what they're prepared for. But what truly unsettles them is a woman who responds with grace, silence, and self-control. That throws them off completely. When a man hurts you, your first instinct might be to react emotionally. It's natural. You feel betrayed and want him to understand the pain he caused. But reacting gives him power. It shows he still controls your emotions. The real power lies in responding, not reacting. There's a difference. Reacting is immediate, emotional, and unfiltered. Responding is controlled, intentional, and powerful. Instead of arguing, choose silence. Instead of sending a long text about how much he hurt you, let your absence speak volumes. Instead of proving your worth, remember your worth, and carry yourself as someone who refuses to be disrespected. Men aren't equipped to handle that kind of energy. A man can handle yelling, arguments, even tears, because it means you still care enough to fight for him. But what truly shakes a man is a woman who removes herself from the nonsense and carries on with dignity. That woman is unpredictable, a mystery, powerful. Imagine he calls or texts you after hurting you, expecting a back-and-forth argument, and instead you calmly say, "I appreciate the clarity you've given me. Take care." Then you move on. No chasing, no questioning, no begging for an explanation. You let him sit with that. You let him wonder how you could just walk away so easily. You let him overthink while you focus on you. Because here's the thing, men learn through experience, not explanation. You don't have to tell him what he did wrong 100 times. You don't have to make him see your worth by proving anything to him. The second he realizes you're not reacting, not playing his game, that you're elevating instead of engaging, that's when it hits him. That's when he starts thinking, did I just lose something great? And trust me, that's a much stronger lesson than any argument could ever be. When a man expects you to crumble after he's hurt you, he's already convinced himself that you needed him more than he needed you. He assumes his absence will shake your world, that you'll fall apart, that you'll sit around waiting for him to come back. But what he doesn't expect is for you to rise higher, to become an even better version of yourself without him. That's why the best thing you can do is focus on your glow-up, instead of getting caught up in the pain he caused. Men operate on ego. They believe they're the center of your world. When they walk away or do you wrong, they expect to see evidence that their absence has left a hole in your life. That's why they stalk your social media, ask mutual friends how you're doing, or suddenly pop back up with a just checking in text. They're looking for signs that you miss them, that you're still hurt, that you're still waiting. But when a man checks up on you and sees that you're thriving instead of suffering, oh, that confuses him like nothing else. This is why you don't waste time trying to make a man regret losing you. You just make sure that when he looks in your direction, he sees a woman who has leveled up. Work on yourself. Hit the gym, not because you need revenge, but because you love yourself enough to take care of your body. Chase your dreams with even more passion, not to make him jealous, but because your future deserves that energy. Upgrade your style, refine your confidence, and surround yourself with people who make you feel valuable. Because when you invest in yourself, when you pour into your own growth, you naturally become the type of woman who commands respect without even saying a word. And here's what happens when you glow up. Suddenly he starts remembering why he was drawn to you in the first place. He starts realizing that he took something special for granted. And it's not just about the physical transformation, it's about the energy you carry. A woman who knows her worth walks differently. She talks differently. She doesn't beg for love. She attracts it effortlessly. And when he sees that you have completely detached from the idea that he was necessary for your happiness, he won't know what to do with himself. This is why the glow-up is so powerful. It's not about him, it's about you. It's about choosing to elevate rather than sink into pain. It's about proving to yourself, not to him, that you are more than enough on your own. Because the truth is, nothing is more attractive than a woman who is unbothered, unapologetic, and unstoppable in her pursuit of a better life. And when a man realizes that he was never the source of your happiness in the first place, that's when he truly understands what he lost. Men expect drama. They expect anger. They expect a reaction that lets them know they still have a grip on your emotions. That's why when a man does you wrong, the most powerful move you can make is to choose peace, not out of weakness, not because you're avoiding confrontation, but because peace is the one thing he isn't prepared to handle. When you stay calm in the face of disrespect, when you refuse to give in to the chaos he tried to bring into your life, it does something to a man's mind. It forces him to question himself. Men don't sit and reflect when you're yelling at them. They don't suddenly realize they messed up while you're sending long paragraphs explaining how they hurt you. But when you step back, when you detach, when you stop engaging altogether, that silence forces him to deal with himself. He has no choice but to sit with the weight of his own actions. A man will always remember the woman who walked away with dignity, not the one who begged, not the one who argued, not the one who tried to force him to see her worth, but the one who simply removed herself and let her absence speak for itself. That's because peace is unsettling to a man who thrives on control. When he can no longer pull you into his drama, when he sees that you're not chasing him for closure, he starts to lose his sense of power. And nothing confuses a man more than realizing that he no longer has access to the emotions he once played with. When you choose peace, you shift the dynamic. Instead of being reactive, you become intentional. Instead of proving your worth to him, you remember your worth for yourself. And when you do that, something powerful happens. You free yourself. You stop carrying the burden of trying to change a man who was never willing to change. You stop giving energy to someone who took you for granted. You redirect that energy back into yourself, into your healing, into your own happiness. And here's the thing, when a man sees that you've found peace without him, it makes him question everything. He starts to wonder why you're not angry, why you're not fighting, why you're not trying to get his attention. And that's when it hits him. You've moved on. You've found something greater than his validation. You've found yourself. Choosing peace doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you weren't hurt. It means you respect yourself enough to not let someone else's actions steal your joy. It means you trust that what's meant for you will never require you to beg, chase, or compromise your dignity. And when you master that, you become untouchable. Because a peaceful woman is a woman who no longer allows anyone to disrupt the love she has for herself. When a man does you wrong, the natural instinct is to prove a point, to show him what he lost, to make sure he realizes the mistake he made. But the truth is, you don't have to do anything to prove your worth to someone who took it for granted in the first place. The real power move is to walk away like you were never fazed, and let your life speak for itself. Because here's what most people don't understand. Distance is the loudest message you can ever send. When a man thinks he still has a hold on you, he expects to see signs that you're struggling without him. He looks for them. He wonders if you're still talking about him, if you're stalking his page, if you're asking mutual friends about him. And the second he picks up on that energy, he knows he still has a place in your heart. But when he gets nothing, no anger, no begging, no desperate attempts to keep him in your life, it shakes him. Because that's when he realizes he's lost all access to you, and that's a feeling no man is ever prepared for. This is why walking away without making a scene is the greatest way to confuse a man who hurt you. Because while he's expecting you to fall apart, you're over there putting yourself back together. While he's waiting for you to reach out, you're too busy leveling up to even think about him. And by the time he realizes what he had, you're already so far ahead in life that you don't even care whether he regrets it or not. This is why silence is powerful. It forces reflection. It forces realization. It forces a man to come to terms with what he lost without you ever having to say a word. And when he finally starts to understand the impact of his actions, when he realizes that he let go of something rare, something valuable, something he may never find again, that's when it truly hits him. Not because you told him, not because you tried to show him, but because you removed yourself completely and let reality do the talking. No explanation, no second chances, no back and forth, just a woman who knows her worth and refuses to entertain anything that doesn't align with it. And when you move like that, there's nothing more powerful, nothing more confusing, and nothing more unforgettable. Men always think they have time to play games, time to take you for granted, time to come back when they feel like it. They assume that no matter what they do, you'll always be there, waiting, hoping, holding on to the idea that one day they'll finally get it together. But what they don't realize is that a smart woman, a woman who knows her worth, is not waiting on anyone to decide when she deserves to be treated right. She's not giving unlimited chances. She's not sitting around hoping that one day he'll wake up and finally see her value. She's already moved forward before he even realizes what he lost. That's what truly shakes a man, the moment he understands that you were not an option, you were the opportunity. And instead of begging him to treat you right, instead of trying to prove that you were worth his love, you took your power back. See, a man expects to come and go as he pleases. He assumes that even if he hurts you, you'll still be there when he decides to come back. But when he returns and finds nothing, no open door, no lingering love, no trace of the woman he thought he could return to, it hits him in a way he never expected. Because now he's not just dealing with the guilt of losing you, he's dealing with the reality that he can never reach you again in the same way. You're no longer his, not emotionally, not spiritually, not mentally. You've elevated, you've evolved, you've healed. And there's no place for him in the version of you that no longer tolerates disrespect. See, men romanticize the idea of a woman who waits. They think it's beautiful to be the one she never moves on from. But what truly scares a man is a woman who found her peace after him. A woman who made a home within herself. A woman who stopped seeking closure because she gave it to herself. And the most haunting thing for a man is when he sees that you're genuinely happy, happier than you ever were with him. Not pretending, not faking it for Instagram, but glowing from within. He realizes then that what you had wasn't just about love, it was about growth. And he missed his chance to grow with you. Because real women don't stay stuck. They feel, they cry, they scream in silence when no one's watching. And then, they rebuild, and when they rebuild, they become unstoppable. You see, there's something sacred about the rebirth of a broken woman. She comes back stronger, wiser, more aligned with her purpose, and less willing to shrink herself to fit into spaces where she was once misunderstood or mistreated. A woman like that doesn't go back. She doesn't entertain breadcrumbs. She doesn't confuse potential with action. She knows love isn't meant to be earned through suffering, and when she learns that, she becomes immune to the kind of man who only loved her when it was convenient. So if he ever comes back, and they always do, he'll find that the door he once had the key to no longer exists. You didn't just lock it, you knocked down the whole damn house and rebuilt a palace where you are the queen, and no one enters without loyalty, respect, and consistency. And here's the twist: you don't even hate him, you don't wish him harm, you've simply outgrown him, outloved him, out-healed him. You don't need closure anymore because peace became your closure. And that's what confuses him the most. Because in his mind, the story wasn't supposed to end like this. You were supposed to chase, you were supposed to wait, you were supposed to hurt. But instead, you chose you. And darling, that is the most powerful love story ever told. The one where you became the love of your own life. So let him wonder, let him question, let him replay the memories in his head. Because you're too busy creating new ones, better ones, ones that don't include the pain he brought into your life. And if ever he gets the courage to reach out, to say I miss you, to say I made a mistake, you'll smile, not with bitterness, but with grace, and say thank you for teaching me how I deserve to be loved, by not loving me right. And that will be the moment he realizes, he didn't just lose you, he lost access to a version of love he'll never find again. Because the woman you've become, she's no longer in reach, she's free, and she's not looking back. And you know what's even more powerful than choosing peace? Choosing you, choosing to stop asking, why did he hurt me? And start asking, what can I do to become the woman I'm meant to be? That shift right there, that's the game changer. Because when you redirect that energy inward, when you finally stop letting him take up space in your mind and heart, you make room for your healing, your growth, your elevation. See, we spend so much time trying to figure out other people, why he lied, why he changed, why he acted like he cared, and then disappeared. But sis, that's not your job. It's not your responsibility to decode his brokenness. Your job is to protect your peace, to guard your heart, to reclaim every piece of yourself that you gave away to someone who didn't know how to cherish it. And I need you to hear this. Your softness is not a weakness. Your love, your loyalty, your heart, that is your power. But power has to be protected. You can't keep pouring into people who poke holes in your soul. You can't keep showing up for someone who only shows up when it's convenient. That is how you burn out. That's how you lose yourself. And the woman you're becoming. She doesn't have time to stay lost. Let me tell you something about healing. It doesn't always look pretty. Sometimes it's quiet nights where you cry into your pillow. Sometimes it's deleting his number for the 10th time, because you keep memorizing it. Sometimes it's resisting the urge to check his page, wondering if he's already moved on. And sometimes it's walking into a room alone, standing tall, even when your heart still hurts. But that pain, it's shaping you. It's turning you into a version of yourself that you didn't even know existed. A version that's stronger, wiser, more grounded. You're not crazy for loving deeply. You're not wrong for wanting commitment, consistency, clarity. You're not too much, because you wanted effort and honesty. You were just asking for the bare minimum, and he couldn't even give you that. So now, you give it to yourself. You give yourself the attention, the time, the respect, the protection that you kept trying to get from someone else. You see, when a man realizes that you are no longer accessible, when he watches you shine from the sidelines, when he sees that he's no longer your priority, that's when the regret sets in. That's when he starts remembering how rare you were. But the truth is, your worth was never meant to be seen in hindsight. You should be valued now, cherished now, prioritized now, not when he's finally lonely, or bored, or ready. You are not a backup plan. You are not a placeholder. And listen, I know it's hard. I know you had plans. I know you saw a future with him. I know you believed in the version of him that he showed you in the beginning. But sometimes, what we want and what we need are not the same thing. Sometimes, the thing that breaks your heart is the very thing that sets you free. That ending, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. You're not being abandoned, you're being aligned. You're being pulled away from something that was never going to grow you, never going to feed your soul, never going to be enough for the kind of love you deserve. And deep down, you know that. You've just been afraid to admit it, because admitting it means letting go of the illusion. But once you do, oh girl, the freedom that comes with that, it's life-changing. There's a certain kind of power that comes with loving someone, and still choosing yourself. That kind of strength is not loud, it's not dramatic, it's sacred. It's the quiet decision you make every day, to not return to what broke you, to not lower your standards for temporary affection, to not beg for the bare minimum. That's strength. You stop trying to make him see your worth, because you see it now. You stop checking your phone, hoping he'll reach out, because you realize you no longer want crumbs from a man who had the chance to give you the whole loaf and chose not to. You stop wondering if he misses you, because you're too busy becoming someone who doesn't need to be missed to feel validated. You see, real healing isn't just about letting go of a man, it's about letting go of the version of yourself who tolerated less than she deserved. It's about unlearning the belief that you had to earn love, chase love, prove your worth for love. No, the right love sees you, the right love stays, the right love doesn't confuse you, and when that love comes, because it will, you won't have to wonder, you won't have to beg, you won't have to shrink yourself, or question your place in his life. He'll make it clear, he'll make it safe, he'll show you that what you gave to the wrong one never went unnoticed. It just had to wait for the right one. But before that love comes, you've got work to do, inner work, soul work. You've got dreams to chase, goals to crush, passions to ignite. You've got healing to do, not for anyone else, but for yourself, because your future self, she's counting on you to rise, she's counting on you to not settle, she's counting on you to take all that pain and turn it into power. You're not broken, sis, you're breaking through, and every time you choose not to text him back, every time you choose to walk away from disrespect, every time you choose yourself over the comfort of a toxic connection, you're rebuilding yourself, stronger, softer, but not weak, kinder, but with boundaries, more loving, but only to those who deserve it. You are not hard to love, you are just not here to be half loved. You want depth, you want truth, you want presence, and you should never feel guilty for that. So don't let a man's inability to love you the way you need make you question your value. His lack of effort is not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of his capacity. And baby, his capacity has nothing to do with your beauty, your heart or your brilliance. So keep growing, keep glowing, keep doing the work, Because I promise you, the day will come when you'll look back and say, thank God he let me go. Thank God I didn't settle. Thank God I chose myself. And when that day comes, you'll smile, not because he regrets losing you, but because you no longer need him to. You became the woman you were always meant to be, on your own.